Good morning. Here I am. This is my little coffee. I got this cup from Target for $3 and I just love this little guy. Okay, so today what we're doing is I need to design a feature for a security system for people in dangerous situations that allows them to save a photo locally in case an abuser goes through their phone, or just so they have like a backup copy of it, right? So, what we're going to be doing is I'm just going to be showing you guys my process. I'm going to be working in Figma to try to scope out like the requirements, to try to scope out like what the code looks like. And then I've already created like some skeleton code in here and some logic controllers, some views, that whole jazz. But basically, I'm just trying to figure out like what is this feature? How is it going to work? Is it like going to fit all of our necessary standards and all that stuff. So I'm not feeling super good. I'm not feeling motivated. I am so tired. And so I'm forcing myself to make a YouTube video about this so that I feel the need to perform. So that's my secret. I use this YouTube channel to reduce my social anxiety, to focus on my storytelling skills, and then also to motivate myself. And so you'll notice a lot of what I put on here is just stuff that I want to talk about or just stuff that I'm passionate about. Like, I really don't care about like subscribers or if you guys find this interesting, because it's more for me to do work and more for me to escape the autism shell. So what we're going to start with today is I am just going to go through like what this application is, what I'm thinking about, what I want the feature to be, and I'm going to bop some tunes. So we're going to go into Spotify, ignore what I was listening to. Okay, what are we going to listen to? I'm going to say Spotify playlist, joining the war against AI on the side of AI. Like, I feel like this is going to be some bops. Okay, here we go. Actually, I'm going to turn that down. Sorry, GeoWoods. Okay, so first and foremost, this is Verena. It's designed to be a stealthy little security system for people who are in dangerous situations. So they're in abusive situations, they are dealing with harassment at school or at work, or they're like dealing with stuff that they just want to stay safe from. So this particular security system has been around for about 5 years. It's going through a much needed refresh and update with Astra's new design system. And so some of the functionality that we used to have here is we have emergency, which is basically like you immediately send an SMS message that's not linked to your phone through this like little emergency flow. There's record. I'm not going to open that because it's going to crash because it's on simulator because there's no camera. And then there's this little timer tool. So you set this timer, and then when the timer goes off, it alerts your contacts. So like if you're walking home from a club or if you're coming back from like a pride parade, you can basically say like, set this to be safe until I get back. So there's that. There's also cooldown. And so the feature that we're going to be looking at today is going to replace guided cooldown. It hasn't actually launched as a feature. I basically was like thinking about it and I was like, okay, I want Verena to have the whole stack of like helping someone through a bad situation, which is basically like from preventing a hate crime to helping them during like a crime. And by crime, I mean mostly like a dangerous incident. Like there's a wide variety of like situations that Verena reports. So sometimes when I use words, it's just like what my brain is saying, but it's not actually like, it's just like a standard placeholder. So the idea was like Verena would help people like before, during, and after dangerous situations. And so on the after side, we have incident logs, which are basically places where people can save stuff, like if they're trying to build like a criminal case, if they're trying to like gather evidence. And so one of the thoughts that I had was like Astra also has a mental illness management app specifically called Etheria, and that has a lot of tools, and a lot of people like love the tools. And so my idea was like, okay, what if we just plug in a couple of Etheria tools into Verena to help people reduce the risk of PTSD after an event? And so we do have like the tasks. They do like work. Like I can write something like I would like to like fight my ex, and then I need 2 minutes because he's scrawny. And then like I add the task and then like finish, and then it automatically like sets the timer. So this stuff works, but I don't know if I feel like it's a good enough like use of screen time. And so what I mean by that, oh, thank you, well, that was helpful. And what I mean by that is just like, I don't know, I just don't feel like it's like to the degree that I want it to be. So what I want to develop today and what I want to look at today, you can see all the errors from our little like sound library, just not loading on simulator. So what I want to do today is I want to think about developing a tool called Vault, which is basically a place where people can just hide their photos in Verena and maybe link them to incident logs, and just like a secondary place where they can upload stuff to keep it safe and keep it away from other people. So I'm thinking about like hidden photos, hidden texts, like all of these other things that you really want to keep track of when you're going through dangerous stuff and you want to tell people about it. So my vision is that cooldown is like stripped out and replaced with Vault. And with Vault, you basically, and actually let me whip out the Figgy Boy file. And so let's start just by like writing down what I want to happen. And I've already written some of the logic code, so I did actually get a little bit of a head start on this. So basically like user uploads photos to secure local storage, user can see all photos, user can delete photos, user can go into a specific photo. So that's basically like the functionality, and then I think some of the requirements that I want for it that I need to be like researching a little bit on this is like storage is secure and only available to application. What else? Maybe we should have like download back to iPhone library or photo library. And then I think we need permission handling. Oris is Astra's design system. It should already have the permission handler like embedded in it, so that should be good. But okay, so here's the gist. I did ask ChatGPT to write me this code. Now we're gonna review it and see if this is like actually something that meets our standards. So what I'm looking for right now is I'm specifically looking for the storage. Like, is it going to be safe for people to store their photos in there? Like, so for example, like NS user defaults, which is something that's on iOS apps, is just like plain text storage. And so if someone is savvy enough, or if somebody knows how to get access to it, like if you save passwords there, or if you save like images there, I don't actually think you can save an image to NS user defaults, but like if you save stuff there, it's going to be visible. So what I'm doing is I'm like looking at what ChatGPT gave, and then I'm going to say, and I'm going to do research on if this is actually like something that can work. So, okay, it wants to use permissive storage request. Okay, file uploaded photo, final app document directory, timestamp, photo stamp, file path, photocopy, uploaded photo, bing, 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 bing. Okay, so this makes sense. I'm going to copy just this part, and I'm going to put that in the code base over here, and then I'm going to kind of tunnel through the code to see if I like what's popping. Okay, so I'm not sure how much you guys know about programming. Okay, get applications, document directory. Okay, sorry, hold on. 1 second. Path to a directory where the application may place data that is user generated or that otherwise cannot be recreated by your application. Okay. Document applications path. Okay, so this is going to be NS document directory on iOS and a different one on Android. So because Flutter is like available cross-platform, I'm just checking like both of them to make sure they're safe to store photos to, because I just want to make sure that like people don't like save photos and then sisters, like stuff's happening. So I look up that, and then I'm also looking up like security. Okay, and now we're looking at some bugs. Okay, so now we're going through. What is the documents directory? Can store any files needed for an app, core data. Same path as app core data, and each app has its own document directory. It's in a sandbox environment. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean, iOS, I trust. I think Apple does a pretty good job of just implementing storage and making like security very clear. And then there's like CloudKit and there's core data. So they have a lot of different storage options. And I think they've proven to be pretty safe and pretty standard. Aside from documents folder, I just want to make sure. Oh my gosh. You know you're deep in the documentary, or you know you're like deep in the documentation when it's like 2006 like UI. iOS file system, this makes sense. So it is sandboxed, which that makes me happy, I'm cool with. Put user data in documents. Are backed up by default. I don't know if the Flutter library backs up these photos, so I don't know if it would be included in that. Put in cache. Okay, so on the iOS side, I'm pretty comfortable with using that directory. I have a background as a iOS developer, so I'm just like choo-choo Apple stan all the way. Protect the image from what? What are you trying to prevent? Supports iTunes file sharing to no. I might do, actually, phones running iOS 9 and having a passcode get default file protection that encrypts application data. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. The file gets encrypted when the phone is locked. Snippet used to create a file. Yeah, I mean, that kind of answers what I'm looking for, but also, like, abusers can have phone passcodes. But, I mean, like, if a user is having to go through the login process, then they should already have, like, the data, like, restricted behind a pin. So I feel like that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna close this out. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, an incorrect path check in Android for Chrome features private data exfiltration. A misinformed user might also upload private files such as their cookies, database to website. This is a bypass for fix in. That's not good. That's not good. It's not good. Did you guys ever fix this? Has it been fixed? Have you guys fixed this? Okay, this looks like it was fixed. Okay, close enough. Oh my god, what is with the document? What is with the documentation from 2006? Okay. Path to a place where the application may place data that is user-generated. Consider using another path. Get application support directory if the data is not user-generated. I would count it as user-generated. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Okie dokie, we're closing that. And then we're closing that. Okay. So now that I have vibe checked what ChatGPT has given me for baseline code, so here's a little bit of the way that I work. So Astra's a nonprofit running volunteer programmers with a nonprofit is super hard. And so I've actually switched from like us having an open volunteer system where like people can come in and program to just using ChatGPT to do the tasks that I would otherwise get volunteers to do, just because like the human management part and just like measuring everybody's capacity and just getting people to create good quality code is like very hard. So it just saves me time if I high level architect like logic layer, UI layer, like this is what I want it to do, and then I just give the subtask to ChatGPT and then I review it and then I implement it. So, okay, going back to Figma. This is my kind of like gist of stuff that I want to happen. So I'm actually going to change that cooldown to Vault, and then we're going to rerun it. Okay, so we're going here, and then I think where did the home go? Where is home? Supporting views, home view. Okay. This is gonna be, sorry, we're gonna call it Vault, and this is gonna be assets.lock. And then we're gonna change this to say lock card. So also because this is in beta, I am just like having the boot operation go directly to the homepage and not through like the user login safety stuff like I normally would, just because I'm like, I don't need to do that right now. So we're saving time. Hopefully it's going to take us to the vault. And so it's going to run that. And then after we kind of get like the structure, no. Oh, that makes sense actually. I didn't do that. Sorry guys. Sorry bestie. Wait, okay, so I actually do think I have, let me look at the public. Okay, so I have async, audio session, Oris. All my homies love Oris, but where's permissions? Do I have permissions, fake async, Flutter lines, Flutter local notifs? What? Path. Permission handler. Okay, so I do have permission handler. I'm just going to reopen this. I guess I didn't necessarily directly import permissions. Damn, she is so thick. She is just so... God, I will say that's one thing I actually don't like about Flutter is the amount of like third-party packages that you just have to trust that other people are like using and going to implement correctly. Like I'm just like, I don't know if I trust you guys. I don't know if I trust all y'all. Okay, so I have some warnings, but I don't have any like errors necessarily. Okay, and now it recognizes permission. That's good. Okay, we don't have a snack bar, so I'm just gonna like remove those later. Okay, sorry. Focus time. We're gonna change the bops. Sorry, Mike Dean. Sorry, Charlie. Oh, no. Okay, this is a bop. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what I'm thinking about right now is I'm thinking in my head how I want the UI to be laid out. And so I'm imagining that I'm just gonna want like a square grid on the actual like landing page or an empty text component that just says no photos, like click here to upload it. And there's gonna be a little upload button and then you click it and then it brings up your photo library and it's like select the photo that you wanna save to the vault and then you select it. And then it transfers you to this upload view where it basically does a little loading animation and then it'll show like a lock and like a little notification that says, hey, your photo has been saved, and then it pops back up in the vault. And then also I probably will want to add a individual like photo view, or actually I'm gonna rename that to vault photo detail view dot dart. So that's like when someone like wants to go in and look more in depth at a specific photo. So we're gonna change that to vault photo detail view dot dart, and then we're just gonna set it up so that it has the state. Okay, and then it's giving that not recognizing stateful widget error because we haven't added it to our library, and as you can see, our library is huge because software is quite large. So we're just gonna copy this, and then I'm gonna go back up here and click rename, copy down to the lib, and then just copy that. Okay, so that's working now. Come back to me, baby. Okay, so we're clicking vault, and it just says vault. That's great. So I'm imagining it's going to say vault, and then this right here is going to be a grid, and then there's going to be an upload photo there, and then we're going to press that upload photo, and then it's going to take us to the photo library, and then we're going to download it, and yeehaw. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to add the button, and I'm just going to have that button seg to vault upload view. So I'm just laying out the UI right now. I'm not necessarily writing any of the logic layer. So you'll see, like, in most code bases, what you will want to see is a separation of concerns, where all of the UI stuff is in one area, all of the view stuff is in one area, all of the logic stuff is in a different area, so on and so forth. And you really want to, like, decouple it as much as possible. And this just makes the code base easier to maintain, easier to understand. It also makes it so it's not like a giant clusterfuck. So a little bit about the software architecture that Astra typically uses is we have stuff divided into basically, like, ignore that build folder. We have stuff divided into core and supporting. And so core is functionality and modules that directly achieve our mission. So this is stuff that, like, users are using, like the incident log tool or the vault tool. And then everything in that module is grouped together. So the objects, the logic, the views, all of it is in that folder. And then everything else is in this, like, supporting. So stuff that's used by one or more modules, like our keychain or like our SMS stuff, is put in supporting. Sometimes we'll also have, like, higher level objects there that more than one module uses. And then we'll also have views that kind of, like, are not specifically related to any specific functionality, like our sign-in view and our home view and stuff like that. So, okay, moving back to it, we're gonna go to vault view, and then I'm just gonna build the world's, like, simplest tool. So I'm just gonna use a, like, button from Oris, actually. I think it would be called, like, standard icon button element. So decoration variant is stuff that we use for Astra. It's just like a shorthand of, like, is it standard, is it inactive, is it inverted, and then that changes our coloration. We put in the title, and then we have our own assets folder. So we're gonna say assets dot, like, alert message, button hint, that's for accessibility and semantic usage. And then we're just gonna add this button. We're just gonna say upload photo. And then for button hint, it's gonna be uploads a photo from your photo library. Smiley face. Okay, and then we're just gonna, I know I should probably just, like, get some copy and paste thing. I never remember how to use Navigator. I just always copy and paste it, as you can see by the fact that it was, like, literally already in there. Okay, so we're just gonna paste that, and then that's not gonna be in here. Oh, actually this needs to be in the build because it has context. I didn't realize you were in there, sorry little dude. So we're just gonna do button, and then just gonna be vault. This is gonna be the saddest fucking, okay, and we're just gonna put a size box in there, otherwise it's just gonna be crazy. Boom. And then this is gonna be a const so that Flutter stops yelling at me, and then we're gonna run it again. Okay, and then if we go into the logic layer, this is just what I have so far. So we're gonna want to upload a photo to the documents directory. We're gonna want to delete photos. We're gonna potentially want to grab all photos so that we can show them in the grid pattern, and then grab a single photo. And maybe we don't even need to grab a single photo. Maybe we can just select it from the grab all photos array instead of like pulling it from there. Okay, so we're gonna do upload photo. I'm just looking at this to make sure I understand what this is saying. Okay, so this just takes a pre-existing file, so we're probably gonna have to make a file a parameter of vault upload view, and somewhere in vault logic we're gonna have to specifically say like select photo library photo. Okay, and then this should be working, and then we click vault, and then okay, I don't know why it's asking for the contact. Are you guys seeing this? Why is it pulling up my contacts? Oh my gosh. What? Oh. Did I... Oh, because I put the navigator to import contacts view, which is not this. Okay, so we're gonna change this to vault upload view, and then we're just gonna quit it, rerun. I was like, what? I was like, it's working, but not in the way that I wanted. But that's the beauty of code and just copy and pasting stuff, is like, you just get to fuck around and mostly find out. So we're loading it again. Here we go. While that runs in the background, I'm gonna be looking up like how to retrieve photo from photo library. Flutter. Come on, Flutter. Okay, so I'm imagining it is probably going to be a pubdev package because everything is a pubdev package these days. So usually also when I go and I get like a pubdev package, I do run an open source package myself. So I basically go into the GitHub, I look at if it's active. I'm not necessarily like a super big fan of popularity because I don't think that popularity is a really good indicator of the quality of a package, but I am just like, is there documentation? Stuff like that. So migration guide, hard to media manage. Yeah, I also try to not add stuff that's like way overkill for what I'm doing. Yeah, so I will have to configure this in iOS. That's pretty standard for permissions, is that you need to go into the native database, or you need to go into the native code base and add those permissions, because Flutter can't really do that for you. Okay, so you request permission. You can ignore permission checks. That's crazy, but that makes sense. Okay. Dude, Kim Petras just makes bops. I'm sorry, I'm just like bopping. Okay, so which might be very slow. That makes users feel anxious. This is true. Users do feel anxious. Okay, I don't need only live photos. Due to privacy policy on Android 10, it is necessary to grant the location permission to obtain the original data with location photos and EXIF metadata. That makes sense. Long retrieving duration with file in iOS. I like this. I think it's a little bit overkill for what we actually need. Has pretty good stars. Let's look at the issues. There's 33 issues, 553 are closed. The most recent closed was last week, 3 weeks ago. Okay, so they chug through them, so I feel comfortable that this is going to be stable. I'm going to star it, but I'm not going to go ahead and download it right now. I still do think it is like pretty overkill for what I would need it to do. I like image picker. It is run, I think, by the Flutter team. Let's look at this. Yeah, okay, I would prefer something run by the Flutter team, honestly. And I don't need it for web, so that doesn't really matter. It does support Android, it does support iOS. Okay, so I cannot test on simulator, or I just can't use HEIC. Honestly, I'm not a fan of HEIC. I think it's so stupid. I like it, but also every time I try to upload it anywhere on web, like if I airdrop myself a photo and then I upload it, it's like, sorry, bestie. Okay, no configuration required. Okay, so for iOS, it's just adding some of these like descriptors. When under high memory pressure, the Android system may kill the main activity of the application using the image picker. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to potentially... This check should always be run at startup in order to detect and handle this case. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do something special to make sure that Android didn't kill the app. Okay, image and videos. Okay, well, is Xfile gonna be... Is Xfile gonna be castable to just regular file? I hope so. Okay. Let's go to definition there. So, I mean, as long as they both implement file system entity, it should be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna pull the trigger. We're gonna use the Flutter one. Sorry, other guys. I hope people like your package. I hope they use it. It looks really cool, but just not for me for right now. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna cancel. Oh no, I was supposed to actually look at that. God damn it. Damn, just taken all these L's today. Okay, we're not gonna listen to more Coke. No, no. Okay, you know what? I'm no longer bopping. We're gonna choose a new playlist. Yeah, this sounds good. We're gonna listen to... Okay, so we're running it, Volt, upload photo. Okay, perfect. It's not great, but the UI has the gist, and that's what matters. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to add image picker, Flutterpup add, bing, 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 here we go. Oh, and then I also need to push this shit to GitHub. Okay. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do git add, git commit, adding base Volt code, git push. Okay, that looks good. Okay, now let's see an example. Okay, so run my app, bing, 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 bing. Oh, good God. Why are we using a controller? This is so much thick code. I don't understand why we're using a video player if we're just looking at a gallery. Maybe they're just trying to show it. Okay, so I'm actually gonna, now that Verena is like set, I'm actually gonna close that and I'm going to use their example application. Actually, let me just like yeehaw this shit on GitHub. Can I just download this? Can I download this? Can you just let me download this, please? I also really don't like how Flutter just puts all their packages in one giant mono repo. Like, can we break it up, please? Can we please break it up? Can we get some separation, please? Okay. You know what? Let's just... Oh my gosh, this is so stressful. Okay, actually, I'm just gonna reopen Verena and we're just gonna fuck around and find out. Okay, so I would normally put this stuff in the logic controller. When I'm first initially like developing, I actually put all of the logic in the view, and then once I'm sure it all works, then I move it out to a separate file, just because that way it's easier to reiterate on, and then like everything is just like separated and nice. But I know that's not like how you should do it. However, I'm the only developer, so therefore I get to say what I want to do. Okay, so we're adding. Oh, I didn't add it to the library. That makes sense. Please don't yell at me. I'm doing my best. Please don't yell at me. I'm just baby. I'm just programmer baby. Oh my god. That is the That's so funny. Okay. Okay, we're going back and then we're clicking installing and then we're clicking imports. We're going back up to the imports. Oh my god, I have so many imports. Please don't look at my imports, I'm sorry. Then we're going back here. Okay, so now we're just gonna like do void open image and then we're gonna go backward. And then we're just gonna test it. And then I'm also gonna add the permissions, but we're just trying to make sure that it like opens, you know? Okay, dragging that there. Okay, pick an image, capture photo, pick a video, capture video, pick multiple images. I think I just want people to be able to pick one image. I don't really want to do batch. I don't want to deal with like batch programming right now, especially because like the software needs to get out and I would love it to be done. Shit, that needs to be in a future. Okay, so then I do async and then I wrap this shit in a future. Just for funsies. Okay, so we're just gonna have that there. I feel like we also need to do var permission equal permissions. Where was it? It was just here. Also sometimes, so I built Orus, and Orus is also huge. I think there's like probably 150 components in there, so I try to reuse a lot of code as much as possible. So I vaguely remember that there was, please leave me alone, please leave me alone, please leave me alone. I'm trying to remember if I actually used permissions in here. Oh, this hurts my eyes. Okay, so it should be await permissions dot request. Did I just break Visual Studio Code? Where did it go? Damn, that hurt. Right in my meow meow. Okay, we're deleting that. Okay, but we're looking for permission dot, what would it be actually? Permission dot gallery, camera. I don't think it would be camera. Media library. I think it would be media library. And then this needs to go in here, I believe. And then it needs to be like if permission equals permission status dot granted, then we're gonna do await picker. Okay, so that should be at least testable, maybe. Okay, so now we're gonna close that, and then we're gonna close the package, and then we're gonna close this, and then actually this can die, because honestly, I'm gonna say it, I just do UI design in the code base, which is really unpopular. Obviously, I don't do that when I like work with a bigger team, but when you're a solo developer, like pretty much every second counts, and because a lot of the other people in Astra are just like design or they're marketing and they're not necessarily programming, it only really matters if I get a finished product out. But if I was working in a dev team, or if I was like leading a product team, I would basically like set it up, and then I would create like a PRD, and then I would get the team's approval on that, and then I would go for it and I would build this. So this is definitely like not the way that you should be building stuff if you have a team with you, but I love causing problems. Okay, so we're gonna go into the Astra folder. Ooh, here we go. And then I think it's Verena Flutter, and then Verena Mobile, and then iOS, and then we're gonna open this runner in Xcode. So runners are basically like, so when you have Flutter, right? Flutter is cross-platform, so you have an Android version and then an iOS version, and there's a lot of other things that are supported by Flutter. So it takes your Flutter code and then it compiles it into a native code base, I believe. So this runner is that native code base. And so when you have like, when you deal with like permissions and stuff, you're probably going to need to go in directly like to the info.list, and then like add your stuff. So photo library usage for an saves video that you take. So I think we're already using some of this stuff for the video, and accesses your library for the vault. I don't know if that's from your vault. Okay, so I do think we are set with permissions. I'm just gonna kill that, and then we're gonna reopen Verena. Hopefully, did I save the runner? Okay, I think I saved the runner. That's all good. So I'm gonna just like cd into iOS, and then I'm gonna do pod file. Or no, it's actually just, let me make sure the pod is in here. Then I'm just gonna do pod upgrade, just to make sure I'm not missing anything, that everything is good. Oh, update, damn. Okay, so now it's going through, it's just updating the pods. And so pods is a dependency package that's within iOS. So Flutter has like pubdev, I believe iOS has like CocoaPods, and then Swift Package Manager and a couple of other options, but package managers basically just make sure that you automatically like update everything that your application depends on in a reliable way. So, okay, CocoaPods is good, and now we're backing up to our main code base, and then we're gonna do Flutter pub get, just to make sure we're all Gucci, and then Flutter run on the iOS sim. And so what I'm just like, oh no, I didn't even add, okay. So what I'm looking for is I would just like this to, I would just like this to show the media gallery. And it might be that it doesn't do it because of some like simulator issues. So sometimes like when you build code, it doesn't actually run because the simulator has different constraints than your actual phone does. Hello? Oh, I got a text. Kevin, who the fuck invited me to a party? I don't go anywhere. Oh, that's sweet. Time to touch grass? I would love to touch grass. Damn, I'm leaving that day. Never mind. Okay, so here we go. Oh, why are you mad? What's going on? Why am I just now? Actually, I feel like that may have been there. So I'm clicking upload photo. Nothing is happening. Directory listing failed. Just audio cache. That's crazy. So this is just an error from our sound library in Oris. Sometimes the sound library just doesn't work, so it'll just say like, nope, not doing that. Okay, so I can't tell if it's actually like going through, so I'm just gonna print like is opening image so that I can tell if the function is even running. And I know that you can use debuggers, but have you ever considered the fact that I just love to type print, and that typing print is the main part of my day? So we're gonna wait for it again. These people drive me nuts. And also it was maybe that like, maybe the permission just was not granted and it's just not asking us because it doesn't care. Stop telling me that I don't use the parent data correctly. I'll use the parent data however I want. I'm the developer. So maybe that's a new error. Hold on. It's just mad at us for doing something there, and then we're scrolling down. Yeah, that's weird. So it's just not opening that image. Let's see why. Let's see why, bestie. Oh, because I wasn't calling it. I was just saying open image, god damn it. Okay. Sometimes programming is just like that. Okay, please open my image. I'm just a simple woman. I just drink a little mocha out of my ghost. I just yell at my computer. I just read documentation and I cry. I'm a simple woman. If this doesn't work, I am throwing the computer because I'm about to run out of space and I want to finish this video. Okay, so something happened here, but come on, come on. Oh, it says is opening image. Okay, so it is doing something. It's just like weirding out on the permission side. So, okay. We're just gonna say that, and then we're gonna do print permission. And I'm actually gonna look up permissions to see if there's like anywhere else that I contact logic. Okay, let's see what I did in contact logic then. Because I know that add context, contacts logic, doc check for permissions. Okay. Data consent. Oh, you know, I totally forgot that I actually built a package that checks for permissions within Oris, the data consent handler. Maybe I should just use that actually. So I'm gonna copy that. Should I put that in the logic file? No, not right now. Not in this economy. Okay, so we're gonna do check permissions. So data consent is a class in Oris, and basically it like requests permissions for you. And then it like runs on consent and then on reject functions. It's just like a simple like helper library for us. It's not like anything necessarily like crazy. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do open image actually. Let's just remove this whole part. Okay, so data access dot, did I even add media library to our data access? Oh, I'd actually, god damn it. God damn it. Do I have to? So this is what's crazy about having your own package, because sometimes you'll be like, okay, great, it's time to use my package. And then you'll be like, I didn't program for this. And then you have to go into your package, and then you have to make updates, and then you have to push it to pubdev, and then you have to download it, and then you have to check it out. And then if it doesn't work, you have to do like another one, and then it's just crazy. So I recognize in hindsight that I do not have data access. And then we're just gonna say, please allow us to access your gallery to save items to your vault. Okay, so we're gonna put open image in here, and then we're just gonna put check for, oh wait, okay, so we're just gonna do check for permissions, then open image. God, I love syntactic sugar. An image. What? Can I? Oh no, I need to do check for permissions, that's why. Okay, check for permissions, then open image. Okay, so here's where it gets messy, besties. So we're gonna save this, adding more volt logic. And now we're actually gonna go into Oris and we're gonna add a new feature and then we're gonna deploy it to PubDev and then we're gonna download it on Verena and hopefully it works. So there's a couple of things that we do when we're just like pushing out the package. So I did upgrade to a new Flutter version. So I go to the changelog and then I say this is gonna be 18 and then I say adding new data access to represent gallery storage for Verena. And then I go into our pub spec and then I make sure that that's bumped up and then we save it. And then, yeah, Oris is just fucking ridiculously huge. So I usually go into like the search bar and I look for it. Okay, so it should be in just objects, I believe. Should be functionality, data consent objects. Okay, so this is our boy. So basically what we're doing, data access is an enum that represents like the different kinds of like things that someone can access or can request permissions for. So an enum is basically a data type with limited choices where you want to set like boundaries on what is available and what is not in a really flexible way, right? So for example, like let's say you have a menu, so we would say like enum menu and then like chicken, nuggets, fries, shake. And then so when you make like a variable, let's say item, you would have to say like menu and then chicken. Like you literally cannot go outside of that enum. So it's basically for like setting boundaries on something. So I'm going to add to that data access media gallery. And because I've added switch statements to that enum, now we have to go back and say like case, is that? Then we need to say like case data access dot media gallery equals permission dot media library dot request break. So there's that. And then I also need to add a data permission access object because in Oris, sometimes like at the very beginning of the flow, we give users the options to enable all of the permissions there. So there is a templated data opt-in page that uses this metadata to request permissions from the user. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna make a DPO that represents media gallery permission, media gallery. Okay, that makes me happy. Okay, so I feel good about that. And then I need to do a Flutter pub get because we have upgraded this package. Ignore my 9 warnings. We do not talk about those. I feel like there's not really going to be any updates. It's just going to like... Okay, maybe Flutter pub upgrade? God, if this makes changes, I'm going to kill myself. Don't make me do anything. Yeah, okay. Okie dokie, so now that we've done that, let's go through and let's upload it to GitHub. So I'm gonna do git add, git commit, added, media permission, git push. Oh, and then we also added a benefits page, but I didn't do anything with that. Maybe I should delete that so that it doesn't actually like get put into the package. You know what, actually I'm just gonna mark that as like do not use in beta. That's not good open source practice, but when we're the only people using stuff, it's like, does it matter? Not really. Kicked in from history. Then I'm erasing this. Then I'm erasing this. And I'm just saying, do not use in beta. Don't do this, but you know. Git commit. Added warning. Git push. Okay. And now we're gonna do dart pub published with the flag of dry run. So this basically just allows us to like cosplay or to like LARP publishing the package. And it tells us if there's anything wrong with it. So it's gonna yell at me about my warnings and then I'm gonna ignore it. And then we're just gonna push it anyways. So yeah, I was right. It's just yelling at me about some of the stuff. And then I'm gonna ignore it and I'm gonna remove the dry one so that it actually publishes to pubdev. And so while it does that, I open up GitHub and then we go to Oris. You can see it was updated just now, and then I'm going to actually compare and pull requests. So this is V18, and then I'm just going to make the note of added benefits view framing, and then added new data access type to support vault func for Verena. Then I create pull request, and because I create the pull request, I approve it, and I merge my own pull request because I am crazy with power, and then it merges, and then we come back, and then I make a new release. I haven't kept track of the releases because we were working on Verena, and I was just like fucking gone. So okay, and then we're gonna add a new tag of 0.018. Actually it's not my tag. And then I'm just gonna say, actually I'm just gonna copy the changelog from 15, and then we're just gonna say that it was like everything. Yeah. Don't do that to me. Okay. Okay. Publish release. Publish. That's me. I did it. Yay. Okay, so now we're up to 18 and Oris is uploaded and we have our newest release and everything looks good. And so now we just go to pubdev where it tells me that my package is unpopular and that everybody hates me. Oh, 54%, that's pretty good. But you'll notice it hasn't updated it. Package has one warning, that's because I haven't pushed it. Yes, upload. And it just uploads. It's gonna take a time because I have slow ass Wi-Fi. So we're just hanging out. We're just having a good time. So yeah, so while this uploads, I'm gonna go on Twitter and I'm gonna read aloud the funny tweets. So here we go. Damn, there's nothing funny on here. I didn't even have time to find anything funny. It just uploaded. Okay. So we review. Boom. Look at that. Who's the one like? It's me. It's me. I like my own package because I support myself. Okay, so now we're saving the package and we're closing it. And then we're reopening Verena Mobile. And you know the drill. Flutter pub upgrade. And that should fetch us the newest version. Come on, bestie. Come on, bestie. I go up specifically to make sure. Oris 18 was 0.0110. Bitch, I haven't updated this in forever. What the hell? Okay, then I'll probably have some issues. Oh yeah, okay. That's gonna be a nightmare. Okay, var. So this is just basically saying that I need to add my screen size. So I'm just adding like media query of context dot size. Then I'm just gonna screen toes. Boom. Boom. Okay, and then size. I'm just gonna say size right there. What? Why are you yelling at me? You should be taking in a size, right? Oh, it's because I need to say screen size. Ah. Boom. Okay, and then we need to scroll down here. And then I also need to do the same thing where it's var screen size equals media query dot of context dot size. That just gets the current, like, I should actually build a factory pattern for this because this is quite atrocious and I'm so sorry you have to see this. However, I do not get paid to write this code and I write a lot of it, so sometimes I don't write it well. It's no excuse. I should take pride in my work. But there is no time for pride. There's just time for suffering. Okay. Okay, so that should be good. Let's just go through. What? Wait a minute. So am I just, okay, you know what? We're coming back to that later. That's a different issue. I think I'm writing the same, I think I'm making two versions of the same buttons and then I just forgot to delete one of them, but that's a later issue for later, Amanda. Okay. We're closing that. We're closing the incognito mode module. We're going back to Vault and then we're going to say data access media gallery. Boom. Boom. Bing, 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 bing. Okay. Okay. If this does not work, who knows what I'll do. Maybe I'll go crazy. Maybe I'll be one of those like remote worker devs who like goes to Bali and like just takes annoying photos there. I don't know. So hopefully it should work. And this is why you listen to heavy metal. Oh, so sometimes it does that like when you run it. Oh, actually, no, I didn't want it to go to Chrome. JK. I wanted it to be on the simulator. Is the simulator open? So if your simulator is already open and then you try to reopen a simulator, it doesn't work. So you have to close out your simulator and then you have to open a new one so Visual Studio Code recognizes it. Don't ask me how I know. Okay. She's on, she's rolling, she's running. So sometimes when you run it on a different platform, it'll just automatically clean it and then rebuild it. And hopefully it will rebuild it so that I don't have to do Flutter pubget myself. But we're gonna see. You should know. Okay, there we go. So it automatically snapped into place. Okay, and then while we're here, I'm just gonna see if Xfile extends Xfile base. I'm a little concerned that this is not gonna be simple to save directly to the document directory because I don't know what Xfile is. It is Flutter native though, so it should hopefully be okay. I don't know. I don't know if I can even cast Xfile to file. We're gonna see. Okay, so here we go. We cannot proceed because please allow us to access your gallery to save items to your vault is not enabled. Please go into your settings to change this and then try again. Okay. So we do know it's a settings issue. How do I open settings? Now we have to open the simulator and we have to treat it like it's our own phone and like we love it. What? You trick ass bitch. You trick ass bitch. Why did you not request it? Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Okay, you know what? We're gonna actually just erase it. We're just erasing this whole thing. And then we're gonna try it again. And hopefully that'll work. Hopefully it'll work. Please work, or I'm gonna cry. That's cute. Okay, so now our simulator has been exercised. It's been fresh. We're gonna run it again. And then in 5 minutes I have to stop because this video has been going on for an hour and I don't have fast enough Wi-Fi to upload this whole thing. So we're gonna see. And while it runs, we're actually gonna find me more bops because I don't want to listen to emo anymore. Yeah, this is a bop. Fuck programming. I want to be a shrimp farmer. It's relatable. Yeah, maybe I do want to be a shrimp farmer. You don't know me. Okay. This should have reset the permissions. Why? We cannot proceed because why? No, please let me in. Let me actually look this up. This might be a bug. Okay, here we go. Google. Oh, hey Google. Okay. Simulator not requesting media gallery permissions. You can take me. Okay. This is because Xcode is not in your applications folder? What? Isn't Xcode in my applications folder? Actually, let's check that. Okay, so now we're debugging. We're looking up Xcode. Jesus Christ. Wow. Where's Xcode? I think it. See, Xcode is in my applications folder. Fucking liar. Sorry, you're not a liar. Stack Overflow dude, you're probably very smart. Run the settings app. Go to your app settings page, enable permissions. Maybe I just didn't. No, because if you don't have the info.plist updated, it just crashes. So it's obviously working there. Okay, I'm gonna check the settings again because that's so weird. I'm also gonna check the permissions handler issues to see if this is mentioned in there. Yeah, Verena's not even popping up in here. Fuck. Okay, so pubdev permissions, should be permissions handler. We're gonna open, where did you go? Where did you go? Oh, okay. And we're gonna look at issues, and then we're gonna type in simulator. Permanently denied. Actually, I'm also not gonna, I'm just gonna look up simulator. Give me denied always. Notification status. Adding the permission to the pod file fixes the problem. What? Permission notifications. Oh yeah, there's some pod file stuff that I need to do. Hold on. Let me actually open up that. CD iOS. Open. Okay, so I think that's my issue is I just don't. Wait, no. Because it shows. Okay. Oh, okay. Photos, media library, that's why. Okay, so it's just a pod file issue. And then I'm actually going to need notifications at some point in the future. Okay, so that should have fixed it. Here we go. Okay, so pod install. Okay, yeah. And then we go back and we do flutter run. And hopefully it should work now because it's in the pod file. This is the face that I make when I program all the time. I feel like I need to leave the nonprofit world so that I can afford Botox, because whenever I program I just go like the whole time. It's all good. Okay. Are you gonna run my Xcode build? Are you gonna run my Xcode build? Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Okay. Are you kidding me? Are you nuts? What?